Hey, welcome to my Revenant Cave for attack level 95 video. So, I recently purchased the Cape of Skulls for my Perilous Moons quest, and I found out that obviously the Revenant Maledictus, like 60% of the time, as long as you do 75% of the damage, gives an ancient emblem, or an ancient totem, which I'll show at the beginning of the video. And then in general, you could just watch level 95, okay? With Osmumten's Fang, and half of my Justicar armor set, and the Lightbearer ring. I'm actually going to upload it in parts, but level 96 will be an entire of Divine Super Combat, but he's like right near the dragons, which is huge. Just look at him, he looks like my thumbnail for the Revenant Maledictus, and it looks like my letters for it look like Toontown or something. Alright, let's keep fighting him. When you eat, you definitely need to, like, click. Let me run away. Nice. Yeah, when you eat, you definitely have to click again to continue fighting the boss. Like, you do want to get, like, some runaways, and then some, like, clear Revenant Maledictus show-offs. That was definitely a good dodge there. Unintentional. I always get PvP'd when I'm fighting them. But the Web Weaver dudes seem to be friendly somehow. If they're not Web Weavers, then... Like, I can't just outright say that the Web Weavers are friendlies. There's no way to know. Because that could change at any time. They've been farming gold a ton. They're doing a ton of damage to this guy, way more than me. Oh yeah, here comes the PvPer. He's gonna knock everybody out. Look at that. He's not even doing anything. Oh, here comes another PvPer. I won't even be able to see what's going on here. Yeah, oh, he's not hitting me. Okay, I'm good. I just gotta keep swinging at this thing. Make sure my prayer doesn't go down. Alright, at least I'll get to see whatever it drops, right? Too many people fighting it now. Oh, an ancient totem. Oh yeah, he got me. Let's try to get to the obelisk. It looks like he's unprepared. Turn off auto retaliate. Faked out. Oh my gosh. You saw that? I just faked that dude out with 1,000,000 gold. Insane. Oh, and I got to the Grand Exchange. Oh my god. On point. Near the other dude who showed up near the obelisk. Oh my god. That was crazy. After fighting Revenant Maledictus. You saw that? Okay, welcome to my stream. In the stream, I'm going to be doing level 95 in old school RuneScape. So, I think Osmumten's Fang at level 92, it starts to become, like, slightly better. Especially when you're at 99 strength. But you're still kind of missing a little bit. And 95 versus 94, it looks like you get that extra hit in that actually defeats the knight. So it looks like there's a Revenant Maledictus right away. And if you just drop what you're doing and you fight the Revenant Maledictus into like 75% of his health, I found like half of the time I get a 500k emblem. So my equipment setup is a combat bracelet, but I do prefer the Bracelet of Ethereum, Osmumten's Fang, Lightbearer ring, Justicar, and Justicar face guard. I always use protect item and piety while fighting. I did manage separately to increase my prayer with vigor and augury. Once I get my Bracelet of Ethereum, you'll notice how you could right click and toggle the absorption, so it automatically absorbs the Revenant Ether. So using your special attack with Osmumten's Fang is pretty useful because essentially the next attack is 50% more accurate, and the special attack itself does 15% extra damage. So I noticed myself that whenever you're under like 26 health, you should heal up if you're just using combat bracelet, which is what I start with because bracelet of Ethereums are so frequent. I normally make my way right over to the Revenant Maledictus right away. So I didn't even use a Divine Super Combat Potion yet. Oh, I just died. That never happens. But I set my respawn point to Korend, which is what you could do after a Kingdom Divided quest. If you speak to Asteros Arceus, they have Artur Hosidius over here. He's the new king after the other king gets assassinated. So when you die, you lose your salve amulets. So my food will still be there, right? So let's teleport back. Because when you die, all your stuff stays on the ground. It looks like we have a PvPer right here. But for some reason, he ignored me, which is fine. It looks like he saw the Revenant Maledictus immediately. Somehow. Alright, it looks like he's coming back over here, though. If I leave my stuff on the floor, it's possible that he wouldn't be able to pick it up. At least initially. Because it wasn't dropped on the floor by a PvPer. Yeah, so the Divine Super Combat Potion is definitely required. Especially at level 93. And if you're using like a Bracelet of Ethereum. Just to overcome the hurdle of defeating the enemy. But once you reach like level 95, you could kind of just be a little bit less attentive, at least in attack. And I mean, right now, for some reason the Revenant Cave has been slightly empty. Normally, you would have to stop after like 2 or 3 nights, but my character's gotten so good, and I've been able to basically do like way more nights. So I bring 4 Blighted Super Restores with me, even though you can find extra Blighted Super Restores while fighting. Because the one spell, Ice Barrage, which requires completion of Desert Treasure 1 and the Ancient Magic Spellbook, it lowers your prayer by 5 inherently. So if you just get stuck there with like a poison plus and someone who really doesn't want to defeat you, but I mean, and you don't really want to fight them back for too long, and you're sitting there poison plus or some combination of teleblock, and your like protect item, it takes forever for your prayer to run out. But if somehow like, I don't know, you ran out of stamina and you're teleblocked, and the person's taking like way too long to defeat you for whatever reason, then like you're gonna want extra prayer potions, because the more prayer potions you have, the longer you could stay in the cave. I normally was actually bringing 2 Divine Super Combats with me, which would last 8 minutes. Like, I've been greedy. Normally, just waiting for 1 Divine Super Combat Potion in here is way too much, but that was a pretty weak start, but I did get my Bracelet of Ethereum, so you can right click and toggle absorption, so it automatically takes any of the Revenant Ether from any of the enemies you defeat, which is super useful because, I mean, I'm sitting in here and my bracelet, like I come back in with the same bracelet on, and it gets up to like 200 ether at a time, which is also super rare, only because the PvPers have been absent for some reason. So So I really need to obviously show my Varrock collection log. If you go to like the Varrock Museum and you speak with the Morty, well, the Rick dude, I mean, sorry. He gives you a collector's log, which lets you keep track of all the enemies you defeat. The Ring of Wealth, you could actually see all the bosses you defeat with it, and you get an imbued Ring of Wealth to collect more clue scrolls when you defeat enemies. But I never personally do that. I solved clues in RuneScape 3, and I would get like 3 million gold, or 1 million gold from each of the clue scrolls, and you could re-roll them if you solve so many of the easy Goblin clue scrolls from Lumbridge. They also dropped the Goblin book, which talks about the Great Goblin Wars, shown in like the Mighty Fall quest. So, yeah, I mean, using Piety from the Camelot quest series. Obviously, that quest series, you had to do Merlin's Crystal, One Small Favor in Shiloh Village. Shiloh Village has like the zombies, and I mean, in regards to Shiloh Village, like, let me make a quick note related to my Perilous Moons video. I mean, you need level 41 mining to mine Blessed Bone Shards in Napotsley. So you also need level 41 mining for gems in Shiloh Village, which is where I would start to get gold, because you get like, you can mine pretty fast, and it's basically more gold already at the gems than the magic logs in the Woodcutting Guild. Plus, One Small Favor gives you a 10k EXP lamp, or 2 of them, so you could choose which item. Alright, let's head out of the cave. So Shiloh Village has like zombies in it, and I mean, if you want to level up your mining to level 41, then you could essentially do Plague's End quest to get to level 15 immediately. And then obviously at level 30 combat, you're allowed to go near the iron ore in Al-Kharid. If you teleport with the Ring of Dueling to Emir's Arena. It used to be called Castle Wars PvP, but now it's called Emir's Arena, EMIR. It's the first selection on the Ring of Dueling teleport. And then you run north, near the Scorpions. You can mine iron ore at level 30 combat and not have to worry about the Scorpions. So I found that out on my second account. And yeah, I mean, you could, in the settings, enable tap to drop. So you could drop the iron ore if you want to level up to 60 a little bit faster to get into the mining guild. So, I mean, obviously if you get to 41 though, you could just mine in Napotsley after doing Twilight's Promise quest, and you can level up your prayer. Because like, I personally leveled up my prayer west of Varrock in the Brass Key Room by fighting hill giants. And I leveled my attack to 75 to use the Bando's Godsword, and to 70 strength, and my prayer to 43. I wasn't burying big bones for quite some time. But yeah, getting Protect from Melee was very useful in training. Especially going to the Brimhaven volcano, because the demons, they auto attack you. So I noticed that these Revenant Knights, I gotta remember to drink my Divine Super Combat Potion again. So these Revenant Knights are weak to stab. The dragons are weak to crush. So using Ursine's Chain Mace on them, which you have to charge with 1000 Revenant Ether, because it does, similar to the Webweaver, it does 50% more damage to enemies in the wilderness, but you do have a debt of like 170,000 to charge it in order to use it. And you have to charge it a little bit more than that too. Plus, you have to also like pay to get in to the Revenant Cave. But I mean, if it's inactive, you could basically save up like at least half of your Revenant Ether if you toggle absorption and then like save some of it. But yeah, I mean the Web Weaver is very good versus the Revenant Maledictus, but the Ursine Chainmace is still pretty cheap. It's like 4 million gold versus the Web Weaver 30 million golds. So I like to toggle off my piety, because these enemies, they drop food, they drop prayer potions, and they drop Revenant bracelets of Ethereum frequently. So again, the stab stance is very good. The Divine Super Combat increases your stats. Osmumten's Fang is a good stab weapon. Dual Makuhito is actually a better stab weapon and a better crush weapon. Crush is good against the Revenant dragons. I like Osmumten's Fang personally. So if you don't pick up your item quick enough, or it takes you too long to pick up your item, instead of running back and forth, especially if you're running out of stamina, you can just wait for the knight to spawn again and fight him again. So yeah, the demons are weak to stab, the knights are weak to stab, and the dragons are weak to crush. I think the dogs are both weak to stab and slash. I'm not sure which one specifically is better. And the dogs, their drops are way worse than the demons, for example. Okay. Yeah, so I noticed that these Revenant Knights, they kind of look like... I saw a Knight of Arlamore in Arceus in my I Found Solaire in Old School RuneScape video. So they have like the T in the helmet. I think that's actually a viable helmet. I'm not sure. I know they have like a Spartan helmet and stuff like that. Yeah, so level 95, I mean, I've been on level 95 for like 2 days now. Last night I logged in and I actually lost my my light bearer ring, because you could use protect item over here, and I could have sworn I toggled it. But yeah, I lost my light bearer ring. The first one I lost is because Ice Barrage, it lowers your prayer by 5 every time they use it. They need level 94 magic to use Ice Barrage, but apparently everybody on this planet both got 53 thieving for the Desert Treasures 1 quest to get the Ancient Magic spellbook and can use Ice Barrage. So there's just a ton of super wealthy magicians. There's a ton of people who have web weavers working up to the Colosseum, after the Colosseum for 2 months. For like 2 months after the Colosseum, there was just at least a web weaver on every single enemy. Specifically the dogs, the dragon, well, not really the dragons, the demons, and yeah, they're just farming a ton of gold. Like, so it makes you wonder if like they're building up like a ton. There was a ton of characters at any given moment of the day. So now it makes sense to farm gold. Because Osmumten's Fang right now is extremely cheap. It's only 11 million gold. It was released in Tombs of Masket, and essentially this is Osmumten's Fang here. It's very good as a stab weapon versus the Knights, and versus the Eclipse Moon in Perilous Moons. The Bandos Godsword, obviously, and the Dual Makuhito, like I mentioned in Perilous Moons, etc., are very good versus other bosses. So, yeah, I mean, Osmumten's Fang, I bought 2 more of them at 11 point. They were at technically 11.2 million, but I bought them for 11.7, and I sold my web weaver at 30.4 million or 30.3 million. It had gone up from like 26 million for a month, and from etc. I originally bought them 2 years ago at 40 million each when I did the Grotesque Guardians, because I thought I didn't want to get locked out of them. So they fell from like 40 million all the way to 12 million. And I used it, I had the ability to use it in the Coliseum. And like I still had access to really good stuff for the Perilous Moons, but I did a ton of training leading up to the Coliseum, and I had a ton of interviews. So although the Perilous Moons was like basically perfect for leveling prayer and making use of my Justicar armor set over here, I didn't even use my Justicar armor set really in the Revenant Cave. I basically just leveled my defense, and I was leveling my prayer just in the Brimhaven Volcano. And I mean, if you compare the Brimhaven Volcano versus, I guess, the Perilous Moons, 70 to 73, I mean, versus 73 to 75, while also making 7 million gold each of the Perilous Moons. I mean, the comparison is like, it's basically the same thing. I just threw away a ton of gold, and I got like arguably more specific training in for defense, because like I was just training defense on the demons from 75 to 87, so I was basically just specifically focusing on that skill, and also prayer, which I mean, maybe that makes me take a little bit less damage here, at least when they are doing whatever. I know obviously the Bracelet of Ethereum makes you take less damage. You could examine it and go to game over here to see how many charges it has, or you can right click and toggle absorption so it doesn't automatically absorb the ether. But yeah, you have to drink your Blighted Super Restores and all that stuff. So I can show my log pretty soon. 1 second. So somehow I did not get PvP'd yet at the beginning of my video, because every time you get PvP'd, you have to pay 100k gold to get back into the Revenant Cave, and it automatically pays from your bank now. It never used to, but they switched that up before Void Waker. They're like, oh, yeah, you don't have to actually bring the 100k coins with you. Or maybe I just did not notice that. But I'm pretty sure you always had to bring the 100k coins with you, because there was instances where I had the 100k and it was just in my bank. So, I mean, here you can keep one Bracelet of Ethereum so that you can use it the next time. And then, alright, let's go over here and sell the rest of them. Somehow the Bracelet of Ethereums went up in price, which is pretty interesting because I'm selling so many of them. I normally would sell them for less than the requested amount. I'm like very superstitious about like what causes PvP in this game. I mean, if you stay in the cave for too long, if you charge too much, like if you miss an item, like in general, like see right there. If you miss an item, like if for example you don't run from night to night in between like the fights, and like you're sitting there and you're looting adamantine bars or something and you're wasting your stamina, if you don't run over here, then you basically deserve it, because you're not being like at the most optimal. Because like you can notice there's like a quick window, so if I down this night, there's a guy fighting over here already, so I can't even go to that night. Because once you down this night, you could just start running to the next night, and then if the loot happens to be bad, then like you save a little bit of time. But if the loot ends up being good and you're halfway over there and you're out of stamina potions, then it's like, well, now you have to run back and you waste that second to bring the loot back. So initially it makes sense, especially if you have enough stamina. So I'm just going to switch worlds here. I was favoring earlier worlds that are close to, like, I favor early worlds that are close to a break in the order. You could reorder or hide your worlds, but every time you switch, you do have to re-enable protect item. And also keep in mind, you have to drink your restores and your divine super combat potions. So, one second, let me have some energy drink. Okay. Yeah, so at level 92, you could time your special attack and normal attack based on when this dude's about to heal. But I find at level 95, you don't really need to pay attention to that as much. I like briefly showed that off in my blighted anglerfish video. So, I mean, apparently that was only part 1 of 3 for the Varlamore expansion. I know we're getting the sailing update, and then we also have a Slayer boss this summer called Araxor. He's also in RuneScape 3, but he's going to be in old school RuneScape. So, Venatus was another like Slayer boss in the wilderness. Oh nice, I got an ancient crystal. So Venatus was another Slayer boss in the wilderness, and he has like a spider web, and apparently you can make 2 million gold. You get PvP'd out there, but you can make 2 million gold an hour, whereas in this Revenant Cave, you normally make about 1 million gold per hour, at least at my level, and that's assuming no PvP. Actually, like people are very angry in the Revenant Cave. Like, obviously the best times to Revenant Cave is 3 a.m. EST to 10 a.m. EST, and then weekends versus weekdays, it doesn't matter. And then yeah, every other time is very busy. So I'll show off my log right now. So you go to total playtime, collections logged, other, and revenants. So I've defeated 14,357 revenants. I'm trying to get the crossbow, which is an unupgraded webweaver. The vigorous chain mace is an unupgraded Ursine chain mace, and then Thammaron scepter is an unupgraded accursed scepter, I think. So essentially, you could get the collection log here from East Baroque Museum over here by speaking with this dude who looks like Rick. Okay, and obviously the Grand Exchange, you could sell all your items, and you could teleport to with the Ring of Wealth. So yeah, you could toggle the absorption with this. You could right click and check it. It has 114 charges left. The Light Bearer Ring recharges your special attack 15% faster, and the Justicar armor, I think personally helps, but you do need to use protect item, which obviously lasts quite a bit of time in terms of prayer. So obviously in Jagex Launcher with Runelight, you could see how much time you have left for your Divine Super Combat Potion, and in settings, like I showed in my Dragon Claws video, you can essentially toggle off PvP so that you don't PvP people. I think you may need to toggle it on mobile as well. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know where that is. I showed it in my Dragon video. So alright, let's go over here. Yeah, level 95 is pretty cool. I mean, I only heard like, they're normal dragons over here. I toggled on auto retaliate. I normally toggle it off when I'm getting chased by dudes. So if someone tries to PvP you, you could get out of the cave over here and save the 100,000 gold. And you can make your way over to the obelisk. You could like left click it and then you toggle off auto retaliate and you click in the center and you stand still for 5 seconds. Then you could teleport away to a random location. If you get to level 13 wilderness, that's near the Ferox Enclave, so you could go over to the bank chest over there while getting PvP'd. Or obviously you could teleport with the Ring of Wealth and under level 30 wilderness. So yeah, even if like they're still chasing you on the obelisk and they're still keeping up with your character, the Ring of Wealth works very well, especially if they forgot teleblock. Nice. So yeah, I mean, filming level 95 is pretty cool of an experience. Because this is like nothing like level 96, level 97, or level 98. And there's only so many ways you can do it. Let me have some more energy drink. Okay. Yeah, it's going pretty well. So in terms of these prayers over here, Breaker over here, and then Augury. So I think Arcane unlocks Augury. Arcane Prayer Scroll, or Arcane Scroll from the GE. I think it's Arcane Prayer Scroll. And that one costs like 2.5 million. And you read it once, it works once on one character. And it unlocks extra magic defense, and possibly extra magic damage. Magic strength by 4%. Magical attack and defense by 25%. Rigor, on the other hand, at level 74, you need to use the Dexterous Prayer Scroll from the OSRS GE, or from Chambers of Zarek, if you manage to beat the entire thing and loot it, which I wouldn't be able to do. So, essentially, the Dexterous Prayer Scroll is 16 million gold. It's down from like 40 million for quite some time. So, I bought that. I didn't get to level 77 prayer yet. Over here, I'm 75. But if I beat the Perilous Moons another, I think, 75 times, or 100 times, then, which I have to do anyway to get the Blood Moon armor, which is worth a ton, with the dual Makiohito, then essentially I'll unlock that prayer. I did read the 16 million gold Dexterous Prayer Scroll and the Arcane Prayer Scroll. You can see I read the Arcane Prayer Scroll. Oh, well, you can see I've read, and this is Dexterous Rigor. So you can see I read the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, and I also reached level 74 prayer. The Arcane Prayer Scroll, I read it, but I didn't get to it yet. Normally it's still blacked out no matter what. Yeah, I've been in the Revenant Cave for quite a bit of time. I think I did the Perilous Moons 110 times, and then the Revenant Cave I've defeated about 3,000 knights since my Dragon Claws video. 3,000. That's a lot. I was doing like, I did 53 million in 19 days, and not from appreciation. So you can obviously check how much gold you have by clicking the bag here and depositing items. Okay, nice. Yeah, someone outside my house, like, revving their car engine. Alright, so I recently bought the Cape of Skulls, which I'm pretty proud about, for non-wilderness training. So on one hand, I did defeat like 3,000 knights, and you get a ton of gold by fighting them. You could check your gold using that bag method I showed, a few guide prices each day, or on Google OSRSGE by googling like OSRSGE bass prices. You can't get that confused with RS3 GE bass prices. So yeah, I mean, you could toggle like your car engine and your dog barking relative to all that kind of stuff versus my air conditioner, and toggle different settings and play with it. Yeah, it's like a setting based on like your ears and all that kind of stuff. It's the exact opposite of like whatever pitch you're hearing. I own both of those pitches. Alright, so let me drink my Divine Super Combat Potion. It looks like I already ran out of it. So I'm just going to special attack this dude. Leave. I could just leave him in here for later. So the Cape of Skulls is pretty cool, because it's only 5.8 million gold right now. Here's like a skeleton that looks like Vedion. He's one of the other wilderness bosses. Probably one of the hardest, I assume. And essentially, you could get PvP'd while fighting him. He switches from purple to orange. And obviously, if you talk to the gem dude over here, prices, you could see that obviously orange is rarer than purple. And then, so in terms of like color scale, I mean, like Vedion goes from purple to orange. So the Voidwaker is purple, okay? So you got to keep in mind that maybe an orange sword may be even more powerful. And then you have to factor in bone as well, because like Vedion is a skeleton, so, and bone is pure white. So okay. So I've been buying up a ton of blighted anglerfish. I'll show off how much gold I have right now, just cause, okay? I'll interrupt what I'm doing. I'm not showing off my Cape of Skulls. Okay. I'll show off my Cape of Skulls, but I'll have to defeat myself. 1 second. Let me have some energy drink. Okay. So I'll show off my Cape of Skulls, but I'll have to throw myself out in the wilderness, which is fine. So I could uncharge this, which puts the Revenant Ether that I was auto-absorbing by toggle absorption. I'll put away my stuff, but first, yeah, I'll show my stuff with the Cape of Skulls on, okay? So essentially, I'll have to just throw myself to the dragons for doing this. So it says give me a PK skull. Obviously the PK skull, anytime you attack someone in the wilderness, you have to lose, and you lose everything when you lose. So I just throw myself to the normal dragons, plain and simple. So I mean, the Cape of Skulls is insane, just based on Vedian and the fact that it increases your stab, slash, and crush, I think, damage by 9 each. If you're using it in the non-wilderness, that's insane. Because essentially it boosts your stats, which is just huge. Let's switch to 301 real quick, being that I already put it on, and I'm gonna have to throw myself into the dragons anyway. Might as well show people it, since it used to be 30 million gold and it's only 5.8 million. Okay. So let's see what's going on over here. This guy has the Ankou skeleton outfit on, Ankou, without the helmet, which is the skeleton one, which is huge. That went up in prices quite a bit, from I think 12 million to 40 million total or something. That's just in general how much the skeletons are worth. So I've seen that happen with quite a few other things. I actually had a banner. There was like there was definitely like a protest at the GE yesterday. So yeah, I was able to stand there with my cape while people were walking in circle with red banners with skulls on them. It's hard to just show off the cape. Like, even though it moves, like, I'm just so about my armor that, like, it's hard to show off. Because, like, you can't just be like, well, yeah, I mean, you can just outright say it. So each of the god swords has ornamentals. You could change your stance, and you could actually get a golden special swing for each of the swords, right? That's crazy though. I got off-pitch dog barking relative to my air conditioner, and then just sirens. How crazy is that? Why is my cape moves and his doesn't? That's nice. This dude's just like juggling my eardrums. Alright. I guess I could talk about Cape of Skulls. So I'm going to right click and go show standard. Cape of Skulls is what? Alright. Okay. So you can level your prayer. Let's see. Nate Potsley after what Twilight's Promise in Arlamore. Alright, Nate Potsley after Twilight's Promise in Arlamore as Blessed Bone Shard Mining. You can level prayer 1,000 times faster with Blessed Bone Shards. I don't have to explain mining. Twilight's promise is in Barlamore. See? I'm doing some Twilight promising with my Cape of Skulls on, obviously. It's traditional RuneScape lore. It's illegal, 100%. The other day I was in the Woodcutting Guild, just talking about food, like different types of food. This person has a samurai sword. That was crazy though. Okay, so let me take off my items. So I could actually check the prices of each of these. So let's go over here. And yeah, 5.8 million. Justicar, Bandos God Swords, very cheap. Like Osmumten's Fang currently. So let's deposit these in the bank and then just go AFK, throw myself out, and then I'll respawn. So I'm gonna bring a wealth ring. Okay, so let's go throw myself to the dragon real quick. That's pretty cool though. Just like a concerted, like, alright, like, well, nice. Yeah, really. So, this wilderness goal, you lose your items. All of them, if you lose to another player. But I mean, if you just have a wilderness goal and you lose to like a dragon, I mean, you could check that out yourself, right? Your items like don't disappear because unless you get back to them. Like if another player doesn't knock you out, you have like 2 minutes yourself to get back to your items. Maybe 1 minute. Alright, so my items, I could get them from over here in Death's Domain. In Lumbridge, you could go into the cemetery to get your items back. You just climb into the coffin area. You can press space to skip dialogue. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I really appreciate when people juggle all the leveling from 92 to 95. Very nice. Alright, so let's have my Divine Super Combat Potions. And anytime you lose, you have to put like a Salve Amulet on. Because those are non-recoverable. So, yeah, let's put some Revenant Ether on to start. Like, my mom's all about it too. So right now I have 1 Bandos God Sword and 4 Osmumten's Fangs. Let me put my Light Bearer ring on. Nice. Yeah, I really appreciate like when people do that. It's loads of fun. Like just when you think you're almost warmed up and getting into it, they turn it in the other direction. Oh, she's home now. Okay. I assume she was just standing outside talking. And by she, I mean he. I don't know who she is. Okay. Yeah, so 70 agility. You're able to get the wilderness thing where you can toggle it in the wilderness to collect blighted food while training your agility in the wilderness. You have to pay to do it, but I mentioned that in my Perilous Moons video in the notes. Yeah, my mom just like grabbed all the vomit in my throat and just did like a noise, which was pretty nice as she got home. So, 1 second, I'll have some more energy drink. Normal kind of noises you expect. Yeah, it looks like someone dragged the knight over here, which is pretty rare. Yeah, so now I just have like a clean slime of all the leveling I've been doing, just like spread nicely for anyone to pull in any direction that they want. Like they could pull it from like next door with like their squeaky dog, who like they actually beat the dog. Like it makes like they make like it sounds like they're like snapping like something on it or something when like you yell at your own mom. I don't even know, because like they have to like figure out like something. Very weird, very intrusive. I open up my Safari to look at like OS or SGE videos. The dog's like already barking. I told my mom that, and now my mom's like experimenting with the dog's barking, because like she views it as like holy scripture. So I guess this dude's not quite a high enough level to fight the knights yet. That's nice though, because like I was for about 5 days. Like I made, obviously in 7 days, I made, I think, I don't know, 23 million gold. And in 19 days, I made 53 million gold. So for the past week, I've been, to get into the Revenant Cave more, based on like house pressure, I've been essentially, like I would drink orange juice to like, or like milk, just based on like temperature, and it would be like hot out. I would leave my room hot. I would take extra baths and just like cycle my bodily processes a little bit faster with like the bath versus extra orange drink. Like I was getting my workouts in just to get more time in the Revenant Cave. Like I would Revenant Cave so much that essentially I would have to lay back on my back in my bed just because of how like tiring it was. Like my neck would be tired. Because I'm obviously 32. So, and I run a bit. Like at 31 in June, I ran 45 miles, which was way too much. This year in June, I ran 29 miles. I'm still catching up on August, barely. I'm at like 12 miles versus August 15th. Alright, let's have another Divine Super Combat Potion. Looks like it's my first PvP fear. Looks like he switched worlds already. He probably already forgot which world I'm in. So, that's fine. Some of the PvPers, they've been really off recently. Like, I've noticed, like, they'll, like, switch to my world over near the dragons, and then, like, as I run, like, back to this one or run back in or something, they'll switch to my world again just to see if I'm still there. And then they'll just keep switching. It's very odd. Like, they're completely illogical for some reason. One person actually, they PvP'd me, and, like, I wasn't even using Bracelet of Ethereum. I just kept running back in with the combat bracelet. And they PvP'd me 4 times. 4 times. 5 times in a row. And I lose 100k gold every time they PvP me. And they were getting like, I don't know, 12 or like 25k from the combat bracelet. It made, or, yeah, like 45k because they were getting like Blighted Super Restores, which makes no sense because you could make 30 million gold at any given moment fighting the Revenant Knights. Because there's a 1 in 24,000 chance that the crossbow is one of the drops. It's like a 1 in 8,000 chance that you make 16 million gold. So, or 16 million gold. That's pretty nice though. I mean, yeah, my intro video for level 65 is, it was good. I'll have to do some more later. Just based on appropriate time of day. So I started at like 10, and essentially earlier in the day it's nice to stream because the sun's still coming up, and later in the day it's nice to stream too, like 7 p.m. when the sun's going down. And then at 2 to 4 my roof heats up a little bit, and essentially that's like when the time of day switches, and like old people do like that. They like try to feed you bagels and then like make weird noises and vomit in your mouth a little bit. And act like, oh, like, no, this is like totally normal. Like, this is how it's done. And then like you're trying to do your job and like, I don't know. You're trying to do your job and it's just like, what are you guys doing? And then you're just in a different state completely. Which isn't a problem, because infinity obviously exists. Especially if you're me. Then it exists times 3. Like, I'm still getting my training in. And this is just old school RuneScape. This isn't even RuneScape 3 yet, or any of my collection. Plus, I could edit videos. Like, I'm not limited to editing videos, or obviously, there's another thing you can focus on too. But that's not really important. I think editing videos definitely is way more interesting, personally. Only if they're done good, though. if they're not done good, then it's really not that good. But yeah, the Revenant Knights in here. I mean, if you're doing the Perilous Moons because you want to level Prayer, it makes sense to like essentially do the Perilous Moons. Because then you can level Prayer. But like, see, since I'm taking a while to pick up the Battle Staff, I'm just gonna stay here and fight this one again. It makes sense to just leave it and run to the other one. But yeah, if I was fighting the Perilous Moons, I mean, then I would be training like strength, just based on like stance and stuff with the swords. And since I'm already 99 strength, I mean, I just want to focus on attack. So this is way better for leveling. I think like I compared it, Revenant Knights were like 2 times faster at least, if you're just focusing on a specific skill. And you also make, well, overall Perilous Moons, you make way more gold overall, just based on time commitment. But then the huge Revenant Cave drop happens, so technically the Revenant Cave makes way more. But like, in terms of like a long amount of time, I mean, versus like not, like a doable amount of time, Perilous Moons makes you more gold. But if that's only what you're doing, then obviously, I haven't got 1 dragon drop, but I did get an ancient crystal. Like they have dragon plate legs, they have dragon skirts. Oh, here comes the first PvP, just because I said dragon. So I got to make sure my protect item is on. Notice how every time he uses Ice Barrage, it lowers my prayer. So my main goal is to get out of the cave. I don't want to damage him too much, which I won't be able to do. I just gotta watch out for my prayer. I could save 100k gold, so it's like you're making back your. See, this guy's just going super hardcore with his attacks. This is next level type of attacks. Normally you could at least get outside. Alright, let's watch my prayer. Let's make a run for it. If you swing at them, you could probably get outside, but yeah, I had protect item on, so I keep 4 of the items. He just wasted quite a bit of my time. You can't hate them for it though, because I mean their items cost like 40 million gold or something. So if they want to like run around the cave too and fight the Revenant Maledictus with the Amulet of Avarice on, because if you beat the Revenant Maledictus and then with the Amulet of Avarice on, which gives you a PK skull, I mean, you get like way more damage versus Revenants as well, and it stacks even more. So you could just go on like a Revenant Cave spree. That was very unfortunate though. It looks like the mages are like finally waking up. Like they're putting on like their like mage boots and stuff, going to the Revenant Cave, getting ready for possibly Dark Souls, like Island, in the new sailing update. Because we already had like the Judge of Yama in the Kingdom Divided quest, which had the Queen of Arlamore in it. So, I mean, it was already like Dark Souls. Plus, like, the knights here, they look like Solaire. And, like, the Knight of Arlamore, initially, in Karen Castle, he actually looked like Solaire. But now, the new Arlamore update just has all the Knights of Arlamore, all are Sun Knights. So, I mean, that was only the first expansion. And we already fought Judge of Yama, so... I mean, just the fact that the characters are knights in general. Plus, the Perilous Moons, I mean, they have see-through tentacles. So they have colored ghosts now. With this kind of cell coloring, which is pretty cool. So I managed to get another interview, which is pretty cool. People, like, they're only allowed to go on vacation when I say so, or return from vacation. That's how I see it. Like, if they want to go on vacation, then they have to interview me, okay? That's basically how it is. Because, like, just in terms of, like, typing and capability, like, we don't really need it. So in general, like, practicing with different types of companies or people, I mean, although it could be interesting, in general, we all know it's fake. So, I mean, you could just emphasize that with, like, which way you want. So, because overall, it's definitely not fake. But at least we know that, like, we have it for no reason, right? So, it's good to know. It's not offensive, because, like, you already had it. But yeah, there's really no point. So notice how I'm taking a little bit more damage because I don't have my Bracelet of Ethereum on. So I put this Bracelet of Ethereum on because the combat bracelet supposedly increases your stats for combat, but I don't really generally notice a difference. It's very minimal. But yeah, attack that increases your accuracy, strength that increases the damage you do, and then defense is how little damage you make or get. You click each of the skills to see each of the things. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys saw all of my thumbnails in my YouTube video, right? Like, that was a decent amount of effort. Yeah, obviously, I used to play Neopets at the library, right? For like 1,000 hours. So, like, everybody I know, personally, they're from a completely different time. Like, we all know, like, King Arthur, Hosidius, and Corrent, he replaced Hosidius in Kingdom Divided because he got poisoned or stabbed in the back or something. Leading up to Beneath Cursed Sands, or at least in Beneath Cursed Sands, the one character with the crystal ornament in her hair, she essentially shoots arrows at, like, the Menifite guards. And I mean, in whichever quest when you're speaking, one of the quests when you're speaking with the old dude in Draenor Village, he's talking about how, like, they got shot in the back with arrows. So yeah, there's just, like, a ton of, like, lore and character development. I requested, so I was like, so Osmumton, he's actually a ghost as well. Okay. Apparently he stands in front of the sarcophagus in TOA. And this is Osmumton's Fang. So he apparently was one of the greatest hunters in the world. So, which is funny because in Varlamore, they have a focus on hunting. And, like, the Perilous Moons quest, I mean, they have different, like, animal beasts who represent, like, Shallow Village quest, or the idea of, like, Slagalith in One Small Favor, or Clay Golem, or that type of ideal with, like, Monkey Madness and tribalism. And yeah, I mean, the Perilous Moon's the Blood Moon. He looks like a cat, well, a beast cat. So essentially, like, I was like, yo, I want to see the Perilous Moons as characters with dialogue in, like, Arceus. Because, like, the Arceus dudes, they're just sitting there on, like, a Frozen Throne, and you get to see the wormlings in the Perilous Moons dungeon, similar to in Arceus. You could fight the worms, WYRMS, which are like the dragons. So you could actually fight Hydra in there as well, and you could fight these like geckos or something. They're like yellow lizards, which look cool in Arceus. But you do need the Boots of Stone and a high Slayer level to fight the worms. I did get a dragon harpoon or something from the worms. I fought them for not too long, maybe like 150 of them, and I got the super rare drop for the dragon harpoon for 1 million gold, which was like 1 in 10,000 or something crazy. But it made sense because my web weaver fell so much, so. Alright, I ran out of Divine Super Combat. I could still defeat the knight very easily, but not as easily. Alright, I did get PvP'd once, which obviously it's pay 100k gold to get back in. PvP is very frequent, usually. Recently it hasn't been. So normally I was bringing in, not only can you bring in like extra Divine Super Combat potions, but you can bring a looting bag in. But that's just being obnoxious because you're going to get PvP'd. And you can put extra items, I think, in the looting bag possibly. You could possibly do that in the wilderness too, while fighting normal dragons, maybe. I don't know. There's no way to know. You'd have to do it for sure. Yeah, I lost a light bearer ring though, because I didn't use protect item yesterday, which was traumatic. But like I make so much gold that it really doesn't matter. Because if you get PvP'd, you only keep 3 items. So it's very important. And if you initiate the PvP and you don't toggle the setting to turn off PvP, like I showed in my dragon video, 99 strength dragon video, obviously, then you risk all your items if you initiate PvP. So I don't know how much gold I made there. Probably 1 million, I assume. I don't know where these mana rays came from. Normal mana rays? I definitely did not buy mana rays. There's no reason that should be in there. Very annoying. Yeah, so I'm going to take a break from my video because that was pretty upsetting. Obviously, here's my current level. So at 95, you always have to check because you could easily forget stuff, right? Yeah, level 95, nothing changes. So Osmotin's Fang, I mean, it's being super huge. Just wait for level 96 because I mean, I could probably down knights even better, but 95 has been working very well. 99 strength. Obviously, it's going to be one video, okay? Because I don't want to look at multiple videos for level 95 or level 96. Because that would just level 95 part 1. Like, are you kidding me? Alright, so let me log out. Yo, what's up? So, I'm going to continue level 95 in the Revenant Cave. Pretty stoked. Let me find the proper spot on my pillow. There's like a huge like indent on the right hand side. There we go. Alright, so yeah, I mean my gold is at like 180 mil. You just have to trust. 190 mil, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean all of last year they were updating the GE prices really close to midnight. Every single day, guaranteed, which is pretty huge. I mean, recently, it's been more of like a noonish, the next day kind of update, which is fine. but they went ham all the way leading up to like the Coliseum, which is huge. Just the amount of effort and stuff. So let's head over to, I'm gonna switch this to show none, public off. There we go. So nobody, I don't know if they could look you up, if like they're friends with you, if that matters, or in general, like I have no idea like how that works in terms of public. I know if you turn that off, you can't really see chat in the GE, but I have no idea how that works in terms of, let me check my game audio. Adjusting the music volume up is pretty good strategy. Okay. Yeah. So picking up like every 5k item in the Revenant Cave doesn't really make sense. And yeah, again, I use protect item, piety, Osmumten's Fang. I toggle the absorption with the Bracelet of Ethereum. Wow, this dude's already done. So let's run back to the next dude. Salve Amulet from Haunted Mine, Just Car stuff. Piety from the Camelot Quest series. Increases your defense, strength, and attack. And then I bring Blighted Super Restore and Divine Super Combat Potions with me. I like to use my special attack because the next attack is 50% more accurate, and the special attack itself, I mean, only uses 25% special for this one, which is pretty huge. I could consider using the dual Makuhito since I think it has higher stab, and even with the Blood Moon armor set full, you have to use protect item anyway. But then your Light Bearer Ring is kind of at risk, so that only uses 25% as well. So the extra benefit, I mean, may be discounted by the Just Car itself. I'm using Stab Stance, but I mean the extra stab bonus is pretty huge. Plus you don't need your special attack to recharge right away anyway, possibly. Nice, I got some Dragon Plate legs. If you're feeling like cool about it, you could just sit here and train with your Dragon Plate legs. In general, I think the Rune Plate legs is definitely a good strategy at level 93 and 94. The Dragon Plate legs, they definitely do have, I think, some bonus, but it's open to interpretation, right? Like at level 94 or 93, I couldn't really see the Dragon Plate legs being that good, but at level 95, I mean, the Dragon Plate legs seem to, like, I get bigger hits, it seems, and like overall. But you still risk 160k gold. So you should probably be banking that like right away. Because I consider that a victory. If you get 160k, that's pretty good. I mean, within like the 4 minutes of the Divine Super Combat Potion, you could walk back and you can make like 250k, which is like a full run for the most part. Notice how I have 2 Rune Warhammers as well on top of my bracelet. So factoring in the fact that I have a bracelet of Ethereum and all that kind of stuff. Nice. Today's a pretty nice day. I get to interview on Monday, so since it's Saturday, I'm not gonna stream too much of level 90s. I don't know if I could finish level 95 today. It's possible. But level 96 is definitely not happening. Yeah, well, we'll have to decide. I did obviously turn off my air conditioner because as the day heats up, I mean, I like to not have my air conditioner on and just chill with like the heat of the roof, especially as I get into hour 2 and 3. If you skip your bath as well, like hour 2 and 3 is pretty nice. That's also another factor. And then obviously skipping, like quitting out, as long as you're warmed up for 2 p.m., then it's pretty nice being under that. But after a while, obviously, just getting back into like 7 p.m. is pretty nice. Especially if you play some music for a while. You could play music and maybe use the air conditioner later on or something. I don't know. It really varies based on like your mood. I'm definitely not beating these knights any faster with the dragon plate legs on, for sure. Plus, I do have this pretend Saren statue. This is actually Tom Toonami Sarah, but I mean, yeah, like Saren from Song of the Elves is a huge character in this game. You have to work on your hunting in order to reach her in Perfidness, but it's definitely possible. I mean, you could do only easy hunter rumors in Varlamore, which you basically need to be like level 65 to do, which takes quite a long time. Obviously, doing hunter, you train in Natural History Museum for that quest, and then you fight, you capture stuff in the Felda pills. I don't know what they're called. Then you can catch butterflies with the bird snare. Where was I doing that exactly? I showed it in a video. Yeah. And then obviously once you reach like the level for the geckos or the lizards, you could do that as well. And then even more lizards to the west. But that's way too much information because hunting is pretty huge. Notice how my stamina is like slowly going down. So I just went out with dragon plate legs again. That was a huge mistake. Like I've seen people in this cave, like I look at them at this angle and like they just stop by, they knock me out, they put my pants on, they sell my pants, all that type of stuff. I tell everybody about my pants, by the way. Everybody. I probably told at least like 1,000 people about my pants. It's insane. I could tell more interviewers about it, but I don't know. I feel like real estate is more interesting. Like I feel like I told so many like gamers about it that it kind of counterbalances. Plus I told like former coworkers about the pants. So yeah, I mean new people telling them about the pants, I mean yeah, whatever. Not happening. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty nice day. Thankfully, the sun is like retreating, which is pretty nice. Yeah, level 95 is definitely very memorable. I could get the crossbow at any time. You saw I defeated 14,300 people. The crossbow is obviously, again, worth 30 million. It's an unupgraded form of the Webweaver. So deciding to obviously film level 95, level 96 separately in a different video. Obviously, I'm doing the full level once I get to level 96. I couldn't help myself because level 95 was like pretty interesting. Level 94 was completely just me organizing my Spotify playlist. Because like it's just years and years and years of just like extra music, and then it's like, well, yeah, I mean it's in that playlist, but is it in that playlist as well? So you kind of have to like go back and Like, obviously I have a playlist called like songs you'll lose, because it's just like names that it's just like, no, there's no way I would ever remember what that is unless it was in songs that I'll lose. And then I have like vibed up for like if the song is like vibey, and then I have chill if it's chill. I also have other categories like an increasing increment one, where like I'll add songs to one for a while, and then once I find like quite a bit of new songs, then I'll add it in increment with that one, and I just keep using the same kind of short name with an extra increment on it, and that seems to work out. I always save my songs of the year, so like I have my top songs 2017, my top songs 2016, my top songs 2018, my top songs 2019, my top songs 2020, my top songs 2021, my top songs 2022, my top songs 2023. 2024 did not happen yet. It always happens near Xmas time when Spotify Wrapped goes around. So I've been doing that for quite a bit of time. Sometimes I disagree with Spotify Wrapped personally. I don't know how some songs make it onto the playlist necessarily. But that's fine. I mean, yeah, I really don't. But I generally agree overall. So for the most part, it's good. But some songs I just don't understand how they make it into the playlist. It makes zero sense. Even going into like having my investing website and then obviously putting music there to organize it as well was pretty nice. I mean, the fact that I didn't actually extend the website itself was, I wasn't expecting that. So I mean, I did have some extra organization on there, but it was already in Spotify for the most part. But there is always YouTube videos, which were in playlists that I generally had. But still, I mean, yeah, they're all organized in my Spotify. Even still, though, I mean, just wearing like dragon plate legs just for this part of the video, I mean, it's pretty good because essentially, I mean, it raises awareness. It definitely, like, it looks good for at least the video. This guy has his twisted bow and the full Masori armor from Tombs of a Masket, which is pretty huge. Everyone thinks like, oh, like you see that every day in the game. My stamina's going down. So it's not really that big of a deal. Right. So, yeah, I mean, they have different fighting angles for the Revenant Knight. You should see how detailed mobile is. I don't know if they improved it, but the zoom out on mobile is insane. And it still maintains the detail. I don't know if they improved it, but you could zoom out super far. It's really insane. It looks like they recently increased how far you could zoom in on desktop. I don't know. I'm convinced. Like, it looks like, look at this. I look like I could just knock his sword to the left. Yeah, I like this diagonal angle right here. Yeah, it seems like my special attack is always getting prepped. So I just had some Cracker Barrel, plain cheese and crackers. That was pretty nice. They had pretty like tiny crackers, like tiny circle crackers and tiny cheese pieces, which was pretty nice, I think, personally. Alright, I'll keep the pants this time. I've been having huge luck. Like, my stamina's already low, so... That's the obelisk I was talking about. You could click here and then stand in the middle and teleport back to possibly under level 30 wilderness a little bit faster. And add randomness. You could also teleport near the Ferox Enclave if you need to run to the bank quickly in order to use an anti-poison. Alright, I think that's basically it on the dragon pants before I get very upset. Like, they have a ton of different games coming out, right? Like Wukong and stuff. Plus Final Fantasy. I mean, you obviously want to play Final Fantasy and showcase it on your channel, because like, what if they just add Final Fantasy like stuff to OSRS then? Because I mean, you can't underestimate their overall power and prestige. So that kind of, like, what are you doing? But they've already taken care of Final Fantasy. It's fine. Like, regardless, if I log in and like you happen to be logged in and I'm logged in, like, I don't really understand, dude. Cause my crossbow, like, don't, all these dudes, dude. There's so many people logged in playing weird ass games. It's mad cool, dude. I'm so stoked for like the market though. That's gonna be mad fun. Cause I already played Market 1 and Market 2. Like, Market 3 is gonna be out of this world. Like, very cool. I would shave today, but my interview is Monday and it's Saturday. So if I were to shave today, then I would look dumb on Monday. So why would I do that? All right, let's drink my Divine Super Combat. So yeah, I mean, the Revenant Dragons, if I were to switch over to, well, to fight them, I'd have to use Strength. But with the dual Machio Heedle and the full Blood Moon armor set, it's insane how quickly you down them. Even at like level 92 attack and 98 strength. It's insane. But overall, it seems like I wasn't using armor, because for the most part it makes sense to not use armor, I'd say, in the cave, in terms of just overall having to pay attention. But once you get to like this point, and definitely at level 95, it definitely makes sense to like play ringing outside of my house at whatever like level you can possibly think of that kind of like teeters off. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you just gotta break up whatever that is. And it's pretty nice. I appreciate hearing whatever sound that was. Alright, now it's basically gone. It's still like pulsating, but that's fine. Alright, so yeah, it's another successful trip. I do have some backup energy drink, obviously. It's kind of a meme because it's the same exact color as the Blighted Superstores, so. Okay. There's like a ton of lore though. Like hobgoblins. Like I can't believe like how much lore is in the game. I should be switching which world I'm in generally. Just based on the amount of time I've been logged in. I generally prefer level 327-ish. Closer to specifically where you have to go out of your way to select it and not select a world that doesn't count. Assuming your worlds are not ordered. So. Alright, here we go. So let's head over to World 327. It's right next to the Silver World, and it's also slightly higher up. I generally find way more luck with this world. If you go to, for example, if you go to any of these, 385 through 390, or 421 or 426, you're going to get knocked out, guaranteed. There's really no point. If you stay in 310 for like 5 minutes, it's okay. But you're going to want to switch. Some of the worlds generally make sense. Plus, these ghosts, they have ghost skirts too. So you always got to keep in mind that like you could get a crossbow at any time. Like ghosts are a big part of this game. Because back to the Revenant Knight. Like, first of all, I hear like pulsating metal. Okay. But second of all, I mean, the Revenant Knight, I mean, like, obviously he has like, he could be like parallel to the Solar Knight that I found, the Knight of Arlamore in Karen, which is pretty huge. So sadly, someone else is in this world, so I have to briefly wait for this Revenant Knight to come back. I think you could actually get more training in if you go and fight the Revenant Dark Beasts. The Revenant Dark Beasts are all the way over here. You have to run around. I've been using my genie lamps on agility for like a year and a half. Sadly, I never trained crafting over here, or fletching. I never trained fletching, which I think may need to be used for one of the quests. I don't know which one. But yeah, I never trained it. I did it in RuneScape 3 though. So that works out. Alright, let's have my Divine Super Combat Potion. You obviously want to be looking when the crossbow drops, right? I haven't changed my mic settings. Like, I have, it's connected to like some random box that is like on my floor. So generally my settings always stay the same. It has knobs on it and stuff as well. I tried reading like the booklet for it, and the booklet's just like, I don't know what that pulsating. Yeah. Yeah, so anytime you switch worlds again, you definitely want to reactivate protect item. Gotta make sure you don't click another prayer. I can't believe Osmumten Fang is this good. It's insane. Like, it's so good that I bought 4 of them, and I sold my web weaver at 30 million, which is a huge risk because, like, I made 10 million gold in like 2 days or something, or 2.5 days or something. So it's possible for anglerfish to just sell off, and then for the web weaver to go up even more. And then, I mean, it's a risk that you have to be willing to take, because, I mean, how much can the web weaver go up? It could go up quite a bit, but Osmumten's Fang is just so good that how could you not buy more Osmumten's Fangs? Plus, that basically unlocks more warriors at level 82 attack to farm even more gold. It's not like the web weaver in one day could change like 5 or 10 million. That never happens. They always change it like 1 million a day or something. So it's not like, unless of course they balance patch something. Yeah, but level 95 is pretty good. I'm definitely enjoying level 95. For sure. I mean, the entire like 2 years ago, I was fighting Revenant Dragons for like the longest time with the Bandos God Sword. And like, I mean, I got to, like, in an office building, like nobody worked near me, but I was able to point my phone and show like the person. I was like, because we were like right near like the Oculus. So I was like, oh, look at my Revenant Dragons. I was like, look at my white dragons. Like, wow. Like right near the Oculus, which was super OP. I mean, whatever. I also have a Mewtwo card. Mewtwo is also going to make it into my Revenant Cave level 95 video. So this is from the Pokemon Evolutions XY. It has Nidoking. It has Poliwrath, Holographics, Charizard, Bulbasaur, Zapdos, etc. They brought back whatever. I happened to see it in ThinkGeek attached to the GameStop on, I think, 33rd Street and 6th Avenue or whatever in like 2016 or 17. Because I used to go into the store. I would check out their Wii games. I would check out their Wii U games. I would check out their PS3 games. I would check out their Xbox 360 games. I would go downstairs to ThinkGeek. I would look at the shirts. And then maybe I would consider going outside to the 10 vendors of different various beers. And I would try a beer, an apple beer. But yeah, I would also try. I prefer, like, we have pears, like fruit pears at home. So I liked Tabata. I would go to Tabata because they had really instant foe, and it was pretty cheap. So it was instantaneous. They actually opened up a new location. They're near like the bowling alley, and not that I went to bowling alleys ever. But yeah, they were near like J&L Gaming. One of the gaming stores, not Video Games New York, which was significantly better, or Generation Records, which is Vinyl Records near NYU, and the chess store. But they were near. Video Games New York was significantly cooler than J&L Gaming, but J&L Gaming was alright. Obviously, you have Midtown Comics, and then Midtown Comics near Grand Central, and then Midtown Comics near Southern New York. But yeah, I mean, Midtown Comics was kind of near Tabata, which is nice because you could go in and get foe instantly, and they had plum wine, so you could obviously have plum wine instantly, and it was delicious. So it was very quick. Obviously, you had near J&L Gaming, you had that other bar with like soccer and golfing, so you could go in there and get apple beer at like a stool with like TV. And then you could go and check out JNL Gaming. But overall, I mean, I would get GameStop everywhere. They had GameStop in Rockaway. They had GameStop in Rockaway is pretty cool. I went there once. They had GameStop. Rockaway also has the music vinyl record store and CD store, I think. So obviously, the one guy, he's like, yeah, like we have like Tool or something. I don't know, but I saw Tool live, so. They also had a bookstore in Rockaway, I think it's called. I think it was Rockaway, and I got a membership there. I don't know if it was by accident or not, but I did get a membership, and like I bought the one Arnold book, the Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. Like the first page, it just talks about rockets, so he seems to be pretty smart. Like obviously it was already published, so all you had to do is just open up the book, and it's like basically the biggest book ever. And obviously that's a traditional size, so right off the bat, it says rockets, so it's not that hard to imagine. Nice. Mom just got home. Amazing. Wow. No way, dude. I've never seen this scythe ever. Ever. Insane. Okay. Yeah, the Scythe of Bright Terror is like 1.1 billion. The blood runes have actually been going up, which is insane. They've gone from 218 to like 240, and I've been selling not a ton of them, but I mean, leading up to the Coliseum, I used to always discount them by 5%, so it looks like they're getting hit by that 5% just now. Because now it's going up and I'm still charging whatever it's requesting. Like, you could get hit by the Osmumten Fang at any time. You only need to level attack to do it. It's way better on mobile, because you could just keep clicking and your phone vibrates when, like, if you're eating, because you're like level 92 or less or whatever, and like you're just saving by eating bladed crampon instead of anglerfish, because the anglerfish aren't always as cheap. So plus you could instant eat through crampon, so you could sit there and save money eating the crampon. And if PvP is super active, then using your bracelet wouldn't really make sense. Plus, you can get your crossbow at like any given moment, so there's really no way to know. Yeah, the Cracker Barrel was alright. I never bought anything from JNL Gaming, I don't think. I think maybe I bought one Pokemon game or something from there. Video Games New York, I got my FF7. I got my FF10 strategy guide. And I got like a Mario 64 something. Nintendo something. I also got Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy on the PS2, Dracula on the Sega. They used to have the Mario statue outside of there, obviously, which was pretty cool. I went into GameStop a ton. They wouldn't have games like that are $100 typically on eBay, but they still had games. Like, I know obviously Wreck-It Ralph movie has, like, they talk about eBay and going inside of the computers. It might be Wreck-It Ralph 2. I think it's Wreck-It Ralph 1 though. Pretty sure. Like, you still watch movies in theaters. Wreck-It Ralph has Sonic in it, right? So the Revenant Knights, their capes say X on it. See? But just think of how much, like, the Osmumten's Fang is very useful. It's not that hard to imagine. So, when you defeat an enemy and they don't drop anything, that means they just spawned a Revenant Maledictus. So, let's go and fight. Ready. I'm gonna go deposit my stuff and get ready to fight it. I'll start the fight right now, since I'm already here. Because generally, I could beat it by myself. Especially if my Bracelet of Ethereum is basically charged up. Because with the Justicar armor set, it is pretty good. You just have to run out of the way of those. And with the Justicar, I mean, it makes sense to use Protect from Missiles, but since I'm going to be here so long, and all that other jazz, you don't really need to use it. You just need to avoid the magic stuff. At least with the Justicar armor on. You just got to make sure you don't run out of Protect, because people, they're always looking for where these dudes are at all times, because they could spawn in any of the worlds and you could PvP in the meantime, and they drop generally the more damage you do to them. Like I defeated, like I did like 75% damage to one, and then someone chased me away from PvP, and then I came back like 2 seconds later. Like I ran back to the cave, and like I think I defeated it, and then I got the Ancient Emblem. It's possible for you to do like 75% of the damage, and then someone else defeats it, and you still get items. So I think the more damage you do, personally, the more chance you are at getting the item. I don't know why people don't fight it. In general, maybe they're just not strong enough, even with another person there. So my Divine Super Combat ran out, so you get a lot of training in fighting this thing. So it's already half of its health in level 95. I mean, level 95 with the Revenant Maledict is pretty huge. It's definitely way more fun to have a Bandos Godsword into the equation. Is Osmumten better with Stab or with Lunge? I mean, Lunge I have higher strength, so we'll have to switch over to Lunge. He freezes you up a bit. My prayer is running low. I gotta watch out, because I could just get frozen in spot and have my prayer taken all the way down, and they could just take my Light Bearer ring. So, because every time they hit you with the Ice Barrage, it lowers your prayer by 5. So if I run low on this prayer, then obviously that's why it makes sense to make 2 trips, right? Alright, so I'll be back. It would make sense to run to the left over here to teleport away, but he's probably going to attack me, so I'm just going to run out the normal way. Alright, let's heal up some more. So for this one, I could grab my Bandos Godsword. Wow. Alright, so let's go load out. So I'm going to drop this, grab my Bandos God Sword, take off my Light Bearer Ring, put away my Light Bearer Ring, take out my Stamina Potion, recharge my Run Energy, and then take out this, that, 5 of these, and then all food, and then 1 way back. Alright, nice. So that looks pretty good. So let's run back over to where the Revenant Maledictus was. So I'm going to actually use a special attack with the Bandos God Sword to lower its stats. So I'm in Slash Dance. Oh, so someone already defeated it. There's my Ancient Emblem. Look how frequently you get Ancient Emblems. It's very frequent. Very frequent. I'd say it's more than like 20% of the time. It's probably more like 40% of the time. Especially if you do that much damage to it. So, nice, I got 1 Ancient Emblem. It's just very upsetting that someone else could finish it off, right? Because you went out and you got your Bandos God Sword. Like, you went out of your way to grab the boomstick or whatever. That's not really... like, superhero movies ruin that. Alright, so, uncharge. Yes. Okay. Alright, so, let's go over here. Alright, so... okay, perfect. Now you guys are being racist. That was crazy. Yeah, I can't believe that person PvP'd me 5 times in a row, though. Just to... so the anglerfish angles in the cave are slightly different than when you drop them at the GE. Like, they have sideways anglerfish over here. They have vertical anglerfish. That's why you always drop what you're doing to fight the Revenant Maledictus when you hit level 95. It only makes sense. I mean, making that a key feature, plus, like, protesting. You saw, like, my Cape of Skulls in my thumbnail. Not actively protesting. See, oh, there, look at that. Look at the anglerfish, see? It's sideways. Sometimes it's vertical. I feel like they're slowly barrel rolling your item to you. Whether it be by your character randomly turning around and facing in the other direction, because technically you right-clicked and picked up an item, or whatever causes your character to turn around. Half of the songs on Spotify are specifically related to the Revenant Cave. And Doing Your Wife, because she plays the Revenant Cave and you don't know about it, but he's a musician. I'm convinced. They have a song. Here comes a PvP here. They actually have a song. See, he heard that. He heard that. You can't keep up with me. I can't wait till technology progresses where you could see the entire cave at all times. Like you could change the draw distance over here, view distance, to see further with at least the map, but only up until a certain point can you see players. Like right where that ogre appeared, that's where I would have started seeing players there. So yeah, that would be pretty exciting. I'm not really missing out. So yeah, they have a ton of web weaver dudes over here. So I could fight the Revenant Dark Beast, which is huge for training and items, and generally PvP free. Plus you could teleport away here and in the corner over here. Or I go fight Revenant Demons over here. Or I could fight Revenant Ogres or whatever over here. And you could enter in over here from the Ferox Enclave. It's generally a waste of time to stay here for too long, because you could just be back at the Knights already. Like, they're just sitting here. Like, they don't do any quests. They just all have web weavers, and they just farm web weavers. That's all they do. It's just range training, stacked on range training, stacked on range training. And I think you should fear them. Personally, maybe. So it doesn't make sense to stay here too long, because essentially I'm already back at the Knights. See, when I used to fight at the Knights, generally I never wore bracelets of Ethereum or my armor set, so people weren't too excited about it, which I feel like is pretty good to just do a quick rush for the Knights, right? Because I don't want to get them too excited about it, and obviously you could just always lead them back to the dragons. And I don't like that. They do teleport near the dragons quite a bit. Like, they really do. Because I would go near the dragons all the time. I would give them a bracelet. It's like, oh, is he going to get outside the cave, like through the staircase? Like, is he going to be able to exit, or am I going to be able to entangle him? Or like what? But like the Knights has really good. I mean, you could just sit there and just Revenant Maledictus, right? I think it's obvious, right? It should be. Unless you're just really good at like magic and ranged. Like, I don't know if like all the web weaver dudes are just training like ranged and magic or something. Because training like attack and defense takes like quite a bit of time. Like, I'm 119 days. So. Plus, like, obviously Justicar was worth like a ton before Coliseum. And then like Osmoten's Fang went down in value quite a bit. Web Weaver went down in value quite a bit after initially going up, like the first time. And then Void Waker, I mean, whoever caught that went up a ton immediately. And then just lost gold in general. So there's like a ton of different items going around. Like, Justicar fell from 70 on me to 40 on me. Just like my Web Weaver fell from 40 to 12. But I rebought it at 33 or something. So it worked out. Because I got my training in. And then I got more. I sold off my Blighted Mana Rays too early. But the Osmoten Fang sold off a ton. So I made a ton on Osmoten's Fang. And my training is significantly easier. Because it happens that a lot of people aren't in the cave. So PvP for whatever reason. So I've been doing this for a while. Yeah. Oh, I have the wrong stance. I'm training the wrong thing. So yeah, using strength with Osmoten's Fang is pretty good. It's significantly, since my strength level is a little bit higher. Even though they're weak to stab, this is still a stab stance. So obviously the Knights being weak to stab and using the higher level combat stance makes the Osmoten Fang do even more. But I'm training currently. Like, I'm working on my level, so I can't just use my strength one. Even though getting the extra items would make sense while PvPing. So like, I have an OSRS playlist on Spotify as well. It's not OSRS songs, it's just other songs that sound like OSRS. I also have deep bass. Okay. So you can never tell if the bracelet... Well, obviously, the knight, since that is like the pure ultimate way to train in the cave besides dragons. Like, they drop bracelets like crazy. It's just pure ether. Like, how long can you keep, like that Myrique? Like, how long can you keep the Myrique hype? Like, just because, Venescula gets speared doesn't really have any bearing. Like, if she's, like, if she fights her own brother and then storms her own castle, with not her husband, and then he spears her, like, it doesn't do anything. It has no bearing on the story whatsoever. At least in Lord of Vampirium in RS3. But, I mean, the blood shards for the Fury Amulet, they could go up in price, but generally, like, if it's 1,000,000 golds, you get the 1% fee, right? They are hard to get, though. Like, who actually is getting them? There's like a 1% fee, though. So, since this guy's already here, I'm just switching worlds, because I hate bounty hunter worlds, dude. Get that off my screen. Okay. You could order the worlds and make them private if you're streaming. Yeah, so since someone was already fighting that one, they keep it as close to the exit as possible, so that they definitely don't lose their web weavers. It's going pretty well. Because, like, if I'm going to be fighting the knights, might as well fight this knight, because it's closer to the exit if I actually get the loot. But, like, the extra loot I get in the meantime is definitely worth it. But my rent energy is kind of low, so it's not really worth it right now. Because, like, if I get, like, a huge drop, and then my stamina is fairly low, it's like, well, now you have to walk it back. But you could switch worlds while walking back, so it's not like you can't actively switch worlds after getting the drop. Plus, you could switch worlds and just leave the thing on the floor, and not pick it up if a PvPer shows up, and then switch worlds back. Right? Because the PvPers aren't going to be there for a long time, so there's... Not only can you obviously entangle with like a magic item and battle staff a little bit better, but like I didn't even have piety on there. Like you could entangle and essentially step inside and then switch worlds, because they can't do anything and they can't hit you if you're standing inside of them. So yeah, it's really... You just got to make sure like someone doesn't show up and just grab your bracelet of Ethereum and you're just sitting there and they happen to have your bracelet and it has like 400 charges on it just because you didn't like take out of your ether and you have toggle absorption on for like a long time. It's like it's not even worth a lot of gold, it's just a ton of ether. It's like, yeah, but what's like the most like ether you've taken? It seems like the bracelets went up a little bit, which is interesting. I have no idea where all the web weavers guys came from. No idea. They're weirder than the Ice Barrage guys, because first of all, you need level 95 magic, and anything past level 60 is ridiculous in anything. So the fact that they have level 53 thieving is insane. And that many people. So you got the guys web weavering. You have the guys somehow being able to level thieving to 53 to ice barrage, just so they could make like 20k, or maybe get lucky and get like a light bearer ring. But somehow nobody fights the knights here with like anything other than a web weaver, even though the Osmontid Fang is only 11 million gold, which makes 0 sense. I mean, I did horrible at explaining that, because it took me forever to get to the Revenant Cave in my featured Blooded Anglerfish video. Like, I showed the Osmontid Fang like in the first like 5 or 10 seconds, and generally I in general looked at least somewhat presentable for the first 10 seconds while saying Osmontid Fang. But then like the entire video, it was just, I said I was going to skip there, but I totally did not skip there, like, at all. So it was just people just getting stuck in like my bank inventory, which is just like tragic for them, right? Like, I still said Osmontid Fang to 2,000 like bots at least, so it definitely works out on YouTube. Like, they have memes in this game too. Like, you'd be like, Osmontid's Fang, Osmontid's in TOA. And then like the dude's like at level like 30, he's like, I am. And like he like listens to Twitch, and like obviously that's what he's gonna be doing eventually, but like not quite yet. Like, he still doesn't even know about like RS3, which is insane. I can't believe how many people are in the woodcutting guilds, though. That's insane. Wow. Is this like, did I spawn another Revenant Maledictus, or was that just a Half-Life person? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, if they featured like, I don't know, like live stock trading with like OSRS PvP and items, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, in general, like the idea of just like hearing like a metallic like xenomorph kind of noise, and they just have like a random xenomorph that just runs around the cave and like you just audibly hear it, I don't know, something like crazy, you know? Like, it's like a good loot spot, but like sometimes there's just an enemy that comes around that like just like murks everybody. Like, you never know. Like, the sailing update could have like another Revenant Cave, because there was a ton of people for like 3 months just all web weavering. And it's like, oh, you're running over here. Well, we're all web weaving all your enemies for quite some. But I mean, look how not busy it is. They're on the dogs 24/7. Like the dogs, the demons, the dark beast, for the most part, in like 60% of the worlds, maybe 70, for months at a time, leading up to and after the Coliseum, but mostly during or after. They're PvPing the dragons like crazy leading up to the Coliseum, so that's all they know now. But yeah, if anyone like desperately shows up here with like a Void Waker, and like, I don't attack them back, because like they're fighting with like 90 million gold of an item. So if like they hit me with the Void Waker and then I hit them back, that's kind of messed up. Sometimes like I do hit them back once, so like they could feel excited, but even that's like too much, like because the Void Waker costs 90 million gold. Because like if they hit me here, they still have to run over here to exit, or all the way up here to exit. Like they're pretty far away from the exit. So it's like, okay, like they hit you with the Void Waker, but like if you hit them back, it's messed up because like anybody could show up. Even just like sitting there just waiting it out is messed up. Cause like even just like they just attacked you with a Void Waker in the cave. Like are you insane? Like you're literally just sitting there eating on them. Like that even that's insane. Because like at this point you have like 96 health. It doesn't even have to deal with like the health. At Bounty Hunter World again. You see this? What is that? People don't even know that they avoid that area. Because they assume it's close to like the beginning. But I know. It's definitely because, it's not even because of that. They just think because it's too high up that like people restarting their cycle through the worlds to find people to PvP or will find you quicker. It's not my birthday, so alright, so but yeah, the Void Waker near Skatizo looks really cool in this game. Obviously, they match. If you want to do the My Request series, you definitely want to get your own Dawn or Dusk pet for it with the Cape of Skulls. But even that, like, if you're gonna do Perilous Moons just to get your prayer up, even that like levels out your gold and what you could do in the game relative to like jobs or plus like you have to factor in like all that other stuff, right? Because they literally like you should see how small it gets on mobile. It's insane. Like the amount of Revenants I fought on mobile was insane. I was specifically going at like 3, 4, or 5 a.m. or whatever. I saw everything. Like I saw like the entire Scorn series. I even know that Scorn are the enemies in Shadowkeep. And I'm not even simping. Alright, my bracelet should be getting up there. The PvPers, I mean, is 152. Like, I generally have been tracking them this entire time. Like, I know what they think, how they feel. Like, I know everything about them. I don't know how much the X magic staff is worth. I generally attack people that have that. It definitely can't be worth that much. I have no idea what it's called. It might be messed up. I don't know, dude. I think I got Thammaron Scepter from the Collector's Lock for 2 million gold. The unupgraded version of the Accursed Scepter, which does extra 50% magic damage. Obviously, White Beaver does 50% extra damage and ranged in the cave. Thammaron Scepter, upgraded version, Accursed Scepter does 50% more magic damage in Wilderness. And then Ursine Chain Mace, which is an upgraded version of whatever the other mace is, does 50% extra damage and it's Crush. It's just because it swings fast. But you have to like pay like a ton. You could actually use an Ectoplasmator to level your prayer while training in here or something. But in general, I mean, by the time I get the Ectoplasmator or the Dragon Defender, which may not even work, it's like I'm already halfway to the next level, right? 254k. Like, you definitely have to check like how much EXP you're at any given moment, because that makes it way more interesting. Not that like you can watch the video anymore, but like at least you can play the game, right? Like, I didn't even confirm how much gold I made. I assume it was like 1 million or whatever. The first video. And that's not even including like banned words, like, you know, they have banned words, so that has nothing to do with anything. Alright, so let's see how this is doing. Yeah, so that was like another 2 million or whatever. Right. So I'm doing pretty good. I mean, level 95, I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? Like, I just have to do it just because, like, until at least I get PvP'd, right? You don't have to, but I totally have even bigger bounty on my Bracelet of Ethereum right now. This may be one of the biggest Bracelet of Ethereums ever. Toggle absorption. Wait, no, not toggle absorption. Right click and check. Oh, it only has 146. Yeah, I've been taking off the charges for my bracelet quite a bit. Yeah, the crossbow drop's gonna be huge though, because now I record it indistinguishable quality instead of OBS lossless, so I can record for significantly longer while still having really good quality. And I mean, if I just edit the video in not like a lie 4K, which may or not be look better, if I just do 1080p, I mean, I can make the video like super long for super fast. So like editing however long level 95 to 0.5 to level 96 is as a single video, I mean, I assume it's like 7 or 8 hours for half of the level. So, and you only want it in a single video, because like it's like, oh yeah, I don't know what my opinion on level 96 is. Just wait till I get my crossbow, though. You saw that, though? I already got one ancient emblem. I got an ancient emblem yesterday from Revenant Maledictus and today. And then one of the other Revenant Maledictuses, I did like 80% of the damage and I didn't get it. I got like a super restore or something. But I did lose a light bearer, so I got actually 2 ancient emblems yesterday. Funnily enough. Okay. Plus you have to see like what people could actually do. Like are you lying to the other streamer? Like I don't know if you can actually do it or not. Like it's possible you could just be lying. Like it's not possible. Like why even do it then? But I mean, this is basically 100% proof that like you can just go into the cave for an infinite amount of time. Like plus that's not even factoring in like the OSRS GE. Like it changes every single day. And the items, I mean they are pretty affordable, right? That was such a ton of gold, dude. Like, level 65 of the movie, I mean, obviously I have to continue because, like, I have an interview, so there's really no choice. Like, the Cracker Barrels cheese and crackers was pretty good, generally. Like, this is what I was doing yesterday. I don't have wings, but whoever makes the sauce packets for these chicken companies needs to get the shit like kicked out of him. Like a single sauce bag, it's like by the time I open it, I'm already on my next chicken bag. Like whoever, the Pillsbury Doughboy, like they need to just like take him, hang him up, and then just put chicken sauce in him. Like whoever made the Pillsbury Doughboy icing packets, yeah, I don't know. Definitely, there's definitely something they could do, right? Because I mean, how hard is it to figure that out? Like, don't you guys like toast strudels? And doesn't Pop-Tart advertise a lot? So you would think it wouldn't be hard for the chicken company to figure out how to like change stuff, right? But you can't lose hope, right? Alright, Divine Super Combat. Like, plus it's possible. Like, you could do whatever, right? It's not like it's not enjoyable, right? Like, you could just make different food, right? Oh, jeez. Yeah, thankfully the knights spawn super fast, so even if like you're in like a hidden area, like fighting Revenant Dark Beast over there, or like Revenant dogs, like it seems like the knights are generally empty because people just do not understand anything besides training strength in the game. Here we go, we got another Revenant Maledictus. And I don't have to risk too much. I only have 3 minutes of Divine Super Combat, but he's like right near the dragons, which is huge. Just looking at him, he looks like my thumbnail for the Revenant Maledictus. And it looks like my letters for it look like Toontown or something. Alright, let's keep fighting him. When you eat, you definitely need to, like, click. Let me run away. Nice. Yeah, when you eat, you definitely have to click again to continue fighting the boss. Like, you do want to get, like, some runaways, and then some, like, clear Revenant Maledictus show-offs. That was definitely a good dodge there. Unintentional. I always get PvP'd when I'm fighting them. But the Web Weaver dudes seem to be friendly somehow. If they're not Web Weavers, then... Like, I can't just outright say that the Web Weavers are friendlies. There's no way to know. Because that could change at any time. They've been farming gold a ton. They're doing a ton of damage to this guy, way more than me. Oh yeah, here comes the PvP here. He's gonna knock everybody out. Look at that. He's not even doing anything. Oh, here comes another PvP here. I won't even be able to see what's going on here. Yeah, oh, he's not hitting me. Okay, I'm good. I just gotta keep swinging at this thing. Make sure my prayer doesn't go down. Alright, at least I'll get to see whatever it drops, right? Too many people fighting it now. Oh, an ancient totem. Oh yeah, he got me. Let's try to get to the obelisk. It looks like he's unprepared. Turn off auto retaliate. Faked out. Oh my gosh. You saw that? I just faked that dude out with a million gold. Insane. Oh, and I got to the Grand Exchange. Oh my god. On point. Near the other dude who showed up near the obelisk. Oh my god. That was crazy. After fighting Revenant Maledictus. You saw that? Insane. Oh my god. Alright, I'm done. That was crazy. Okay.